you say that this isn't, it just didn't go down like this. So tell me, I just want to give you the floor, give you the chance to tell us just how did this go down?
Yes, I took responsibility. I pled guilty. I did what I did. I can't change it. Jessica, what you saw and how you saw it just didn't happen. You can believe what you want. You're going to anyway, but I can't prove it. You can't prove it. So where do we go from here?
I think I can prove it.
No, I mean...
What happened to me isn't too far off from what happened to Kim.
Yeah,
so I don't really need proof.
That's kind of convenient, ain't it? I can't take any more to her. I just want to move on, and by living in the past and staying there, nothing positive is going to come out of that. I can't change it. I'm certainly not out for revenge. I'm not.
Okay, to give you some idea of what's happening here, there's two women on the stage, both of whom, this guy's the stepfather of one of them, and he's the father of the other girl. And he sexually abused his children for years, 5, 7 years, whatever. Long time. It was not one time, it was many times. He still denies doing it to the one. He admits to the other. Although he blames his biological daughter for seducing him, and it's her fault that he abused her because she seduced him. He admits to it, which, sort of. He went to prison for it, but he still thinks it's her fault and he won't admit to the other one. Now, if you think that's outrageous enough, it's about to get worse, because Dr. Phil is going to join in on the stupidity. This guy's supposed to be a psychologist. He's not a psychologist. He's a fucking joke. He doesn't have any goddamn idea what he's talking about.
Get even with you. I just want... I'd be happy with a phone call once in a while.
You don't need revenge. You didn't... No one stole anything from you. You stole her innocence. It would just be nice if you could admit to the truth.
I know what you want. You want to put the past behind you, and you want to have some semblance of relationship with your stepdaughter and daughter here. I actually think that they're big enough people to do that, actually. They're bigger than I am. I think they're big enough people to do that, and I can tell you what that's going to take.
I actually screamed when I heard this the first time. I screamed at the television because that is so fucking stupid. He's suggesting that these girls could or would or should be able to be big enough to have a relationship with their pedophile father who sexually abused them. Do you realize how stupid that is? That is... so absurd. I didn't believe it the first time I heard it, and I kept rewinding the tape, thinking, maybe I heard it wrong. Maybe I heard it wrong, but I didn't hear it wrong. He's suggesting that that could or should be a possibility. It's so frustrating. I have a really, really hard time talking about it, but I had to. I mean, this guy, first of all, he won't even really accept his full responsibility. He's continuing to victimize these girls by claiming he was seduced on the stage. And even if he totally owned everything he did, that doesn't mean they should have a relationship with him. That would be mentally healthy for them. That wouldn't be mentally healthy for them. You know, there are some things that people do that once you do them, they can't be undone. And I would say sexually abusing your child should be right at the top of that list. He forfeited the right to any privilege he had of a relationship with these girls. He flushed that down the toilet. And to even suggest that they should is disgusting to me. he will find a way to re-victimize these girls. He's re-victimizing them on this stage. He is not cognizant of what he did. And you can forgive someone. I mean, personally, I kind of feel like there are some things that should be unforgivable. But if you're one of those people who ascribe to that idea of, you know, I need to forgive someone for my own mental health and my own well-being, that's fine. You can forgive this guy if that makes you feel better in some way. But forgiving somebody and continuing a relationship are two very, very different things. You can forgive this guy and walk away. You should forgive this guy and walk away. To continue a relationship with this guy is, I think, terribly naive. And I don't know why Dr. Phil is saying this, because he's actually told people to cut off relationships, not just financial support, but actual relationships with family members who were drug addicts or alcoholics. But if your dad's a pedophile, oh well, maybe it can be worked out.
Your definition of transgression, your definition of boundary, your definition of the role of the man in the family is so distorted that until you get some contact with reality about that, you're not ever going to be able to have a relationship with them. They just want to hear you.
Even if he got in contact with reality and understood that, why should he have a relationship with them? Just because he understands what he did, and I'm sure he probably does on some level, doesn't mean that he wouldn't do it again. I'm sorry, but the best thing you can do for those girls is tell them to walk away. Walk away with your head held high, knowing that all of America now knows who and what he is.